Boom. All right, what's going on, you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Biotech Boom, a series where we cover exciting news and price action in the land of biotechs. Today, we're going to be covering two old friends here on the channel, Moderna and Sorrento. It seems like it's been a while since we've covered these names, so I'm excited to go over a couple articles with you guys. Of course, spend some time on the charts and talk price action as well. So let's get into it. As always, we'll quickly go over each topic we're going to be discussing, and we'll dive into each one individually. In front of us, you guys know the drill. Trading View, where we will take a look once again at the following names today here, going down the watch list. Moderna, Sorrento, and then I'm actually going to throw in alternate systems, ALYI, at the very end of this, just kind of celebrate with the Waves fam, because today was an amazing day, up over 50%. But that's for the end. That's not even a biotech stock. I just need to throw it in because it was such an exceptional day. Moderna, up 12% on the day. You love to see it, you guys. A stock that we've been keeping track of for such a long time here on the channel, traded for the majority of 2020. It feels good to see some nice momentum behind it again. Just some nice volume here. So we'll of course talk price targets here. As you guys can tell, I'm pretty bullish. I'm feeling bullish on Moderna. Not only technically though, fundamentally. You guys know that I'm fundamentally very bullish on Moderna. Moderna is one of my definitely just buy and hold positions. For me personally, I do trade it as well, but I'm very happy with this. Just set it and forget it in my stock portfolio. Okay, so in terms of fundamentals, the one article we have to go over today is titled "Moderna Announces Vaccine Upgrades to Protect Against Emerging Variants." So obviously, you guys, UK variant, South African variant, both very real things, very scary things, and the fact that Moderna's vaccine is capable, or the fact that Moderna is actively working towards and successfully at that an effective vaccine against these new variants is very bullish for Moderna, and in my opinion, it's pretty, I can't imagine what else it would be. This is what led to today's price action. So we will go over this article, understand what was behind today's price action, and then jump into the charts, talk that price action. I'll give you guys my price targets. Sorrento, on the other hand, did not have the best day. Sorrento has been doing pretty well over the past few weeks, but it has seen somewhat of a correction over the past few trading days. But good news here, I do have some price targets on the downside that I've been keeping a close eye on for a while. I've had those in my sights ever since Sorrento started rallying last week. So very excited to share those with you guys as well. But before that, of course, we do have to cover the fundamentals. So this is titled "Sorrento Stock Has Multiple Catalysts in Play. Analyst Says Buy." You guys know that I always say take analyst words with a grain of salt, but I like what this guy has to say. I agree completely. And again, it'll just kind of reinforce our initial bullet. If you guys have been watching these biotech booms, me covering Sorrento for the past months, you guys would know I'm very fundamentally bullish on both Moderna and Sorrento. So it's nice just to just read articles like this and just kind of remind ourselves why we're bullish on these companies from a fundamental perspective. Okay, so excited to dive in. Before you do, as always though, I will ask you guys to please give the video a like if you do go on to gain value from it today, or if you're invested in any of the stocks we're talking about. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, want to catch more content like this, and as always, check out my complete portfolio daily newsletter, first link down in the description. If you want a complete breakdown, every single call option, put option, stock position, cryptocurrency position in my entire portfolio, I do update that every single trading day, talking about my trades, and I do send out a newsletter as well along with it during market hours, give you guys real-time updates on what I'm trading, and just what my thoughts are. Even if I'm not trading, I just give you guys analyses on whatever stocks I'm keeping an eye on, whatever I think is exciting. So if you guys are interested in that, once again, first link down below. If not though, no worries at all. Let's get into this. So we're actually going to kick it off. You guys know the deal. Got to kick it off with the fundamentals, and then we'll move into the charts. Okay, we'll go back and forth. Moderna announced, we just read that, the upgrades will be designed to better protect against the different strains and could be used as a booster shot. So we'll just read a little bit here, just getting a general idea of what's going on. As always, you guys, I do recommend you go do your own research. Of course, come to your own conclusions. You guys know the deal, but got to get at least a decent idea of what was behind today's price action. Moderna is tweaking its coronavirus vaccine. Excuse me, guys. Moderna is tweaking its coronavirus vaccine to make it more effective against emerging variants of the virus. The company announced Monday the upgrades will be designed to better protect against the different strains and can be used as a booster shot. The announcement comes as scientists around the world scramble to get ahead of a constantly mutating virus that has already killed more than 2 million people worldwide. And this is a quote from Moderna's CEO right here. "As we seek to defeat the COVID-19 virus, which has created a worldwide pandemic, we believe it's imperative to be as productive as the virus, be proactive, as the virus evolves." And that's exactly it, you guys. The fact that Moderna, they made this vaccine so quickly with such a with not an established technology. Prior to this vaccine, you guys, Moderna, for those of you who don't know, had nothing out there, no products on the market. They have a very promising pipeline, which every time I talk about Moderna, I want to make it very clear that it's not just the COVID vaccine. It's their entire mRNA technology-based pipeline of vaccines that will roll out now that the technology has been validated with the COVID vaccine. And well at that, if it's able to counter some of these emerging variants of the, you guys, I got something in my throat, sorry. Some of these emerging variants of the virus, it's just good news here, and that's what I love to see. These guys are the save the world stock. They are the OG save the world stock that we've called them so many times over the past year, and I really do believe that as with a $50 billion valuation, I think Moderna could easily 2x to $100 billion because they're providing that much value to the world. Okay, so that said, let's talk price action. My top price target actually comes pretty close to that $100 billion valuation if all plays out. So let me explain to you guys my thoughts here. This has been my price target for a while, and I actually, once we were in here, I really thought we were going to use this channel right here and test the top side immediately. But I was wrong. I think this is probably around the last time we talked about Moderna on the channel. Actually, it was like back here somewhere. Since then, it has been in this small ascending channel. It just broke out of the ascending channel, very bullish, came back down, used this line that was once resistance as new support. That's TA 101 right there. But this morning gapped up once again off the good news that we just covered. I'm pretty sure. I can't imagine what else it would have been. But anyway, it seems to me like we're going to test this trend line right here. And this is kind of a weird trend line, you guys. It's a very macro trend line. So as you can see here, since we first started covering Moderna, I've had these 3 trend lines in play. Like probably since around here, these 3 trend lines have not been touched. And I barely touched them, aside from extending them, of course. And this trend line is just a very strong long-term trend. You can see it here used multiple times as both support and resistance. So if I was to identify one trend line that will come into play, and it just makes sense because it will come up to retest these previous highs that it set back in late November. That would take us to, say we hit it on February 1st, again, just where my price target's drawn. Not saying this is going to happen for sure. It's pretty likely that it's not gonna, but if it does test this trend line on February 1st, that would take us to $175 Moderna. Once we test this trend line, again, if it comes into play, it might go a little higher just to retest its previous high. I do think we'll see a little pullback just because it's natural. It's going to test that trend. But because I'm so fundamentally bullish on Moderna, again, you guys know that I wouldn't be saying this unless I wasn't super bullish on Moderna. I think it's very possible that after this pullback, if we break above this trend line and break Moderna's previous high back in November 30th at about $177. So if we can close a day above 180, I think it's very, very likely we ultimately come up to test this long-term uptrend. Okay, so this trend right here, you know what, we can actually, this makes more sense in all honesty now that I'm looking at it. These are just OGs. So it's pretty darn similar, you guys. It's you know, that's kind of far off, I guess. But one of these 2 trend lines, it'll either test this short-term trend line, so this point of contact late July, this high over here. Obviously, this absolute high, it's Moderna's all-time high at 177 on November 30th, and that actually, now that I'm thinking about it, makes more sense. I wouldn't be surprised to see a $250 Moderna, just because again, it does play into this very, very long-term uptrend. But I do think we will definitely see some resistance here around the 225 region prior to maybe busting out and testing the top region. All right. So price targets on the fly, you guys. That's why it's fun to look at these with you guys sometimes, just like real time. Like I'm looking at a chart and I'm just trying to dictate what I'm seeing. So this is actually a lot more likely. Once again, now that I'm looking at it and thinking about it, my long-term price target for Moderna, and again, this isn't even long-term. Say we strike this end of February, which I think is pretty possible. $230 price target. Okay, so that's best case scenario. Again, you guys, something could go wrong with biotechs. It's always a little iffy. There could always be some a curveball thrown at you. We've experienced that before, but very exciting. Once again, I'm just pumped to see Moderna seeing some positive price action. Okay, so moving on to Sorrento. So let's take a look at Sorrento quickly. Just give you guys my downside price target on this. If it'll load, come on, please. Okay. So we'll let that load, and then we'll actually come over here and read this quick. So once again, Sorrento stock has multiple catalysts in play. Analyst says buy. Some companies favor a do one job and do it well approach. However, that is not Sorrento Therapeutics' way. While being laser focused on just one objective can have its advantages, having a wider based remit can be just as effective if done well. That is certainly the opinion of Alliance Global analyst James Malloy when evaluating Sorrento's prospects. SRNE combines one of the most active and promising pipelines in the COVID space with a potentially transformative non-opioid pain pipeline and adds in deep oncology pipeline, the analyst said. Most of Sorrento's pipeline has significant catalysts over the next 1 to 4 quarters, with multiple late-stage clinical data readouts and multiple potential emergency use authorizations, or EUAs, launches as well. Okay, so again, you guys, from the time we first started covering Sorrento, for those of you who've been around, the reason I've always liked Sorrento is because they're taking that multi-pronged approach, which you can't argue the fact that you may be spreading yourself too thin, but all of their projects are like looking pretty solid, and that's why I've always liked Sorrento. Again, they're really trying to strike a few different chords. So the treatment being personally the one I'm expecting the most from is that COVID treatment. The kind of more, it just makes the most sense that if they were to actually pull through with a product that made a difference for them as a company, I think it would be that treatment. So that's exciting there. And from a technical perspective, we're almost at my downside price target. So let's just get straight into the technicals. Okay, so I did draw this a few days ago for the newsletter. It's fun. It's funny when you just randomly draw arrows, and it's following this arrow pretty close. So downside price target. I'll just explain to you guys why this is my price target. It's pretty simple right here. You can see since Sorrento's low back on November 10th, really corrected. That's crazy. It was down to almost $5. But since that low, you obviously see the base for this line of support on this kind of ascending channel right here. Sorrento is now in a nice ascending channel. That's where the top side price target comes in. So Sorrento, again, it used this multiple 4-hour candles right here. Very strong line of support. Dipped below it real quick, but was immediately eaten back up. Once it dipped below, it had a hard time getting back above it. But now you see just on January 15th, once it did break back above this line of support, it shot up. So we saw Sorrento go from when it broke out back into this channel, $830. $8.30, $830, $8.30 up to a high of $10.72. So beautiful price action again since then. You guys, I was so tempted. I was like, damn, Sorrento's gonna start running again. It's getting exciting. But I did expect it to pull back again, use this previous area of resistance as new support and what has been support over this this ascending channel. And this is a really nice ascending channel. So I'm pretty confident that we will see Sorrento. It got really close today, you guys. So even if I wasn't getting greedy, I might have considered picking up some Sorrento around here. But I do believe we'll ultimately, likely tomorrow, probably come down to test this line of resistance. That would bring us to about $8.67 ish. Again, what's a few cents, you guys? But I do believe we will test this trend line. We'll have to see. Make sure you definitely have to make sure it doesn't break below this line of support. Otherwise, that would be bad, and we see a reversal in trend and start trending downward again. But again, I'm fundamentally bullish. I do think we'll ultimately come down to test here from a technical perspective, but then come up to test the top side of this ascending channel. Right here, got a few touch points, very strong ascending channel. I'm very confident that this line right here will come into play, and it does coincide with this general trend line right here. And say we hit that February 3rd, that's a $12.25 Sorrento. So that's a pretty solid little gain if you're able to hop in down here. So again, you guys, always do your own research. I'm not guaranteeing anything, but always know my money's where my mouth is. Okay. And speaking of money, made a whole lot of that today on ALYI. So let's take a look at this, you guys, just because it feels so good. Like we just started covering this, maybe 10 days ago, 7 to 10 days ago is the first time I brought up ALYI. Made that solo analysis. Very cool company, you guys. The CEO did end up coming out with a statement that I just love. The vision of this company is so cool. Remember, you guys, this is objectively a this is a speculative investment. This is a textbook speculative investment. Okay, these guys don't have any products on the market yet. They just have a vision, but their vision is great, and their market cap makes for days. Their market cap is now just over $5 million. When we first started talking about it, it was 2.7 or 3 or something like that. So it's crazy to see that this thing is almost doubled just since we started talking about it. You love to see that. It did break out of this downtrend, and just a little TA real quick. Although it's up 50% today, I still seriously think this is just the beginning for this company. I think short term, 10 cents, which is crazy to think just 10 cents is my price target, and that's such a crazy appreciation. From where it's at right now, at about 4.5 cents, that's obviously over 2x. So there's still a lot of potential here, in my opinion. My long-term price target, you guys, if you guys watch that analysis, is $10. I think ALYI, a $10 ALYI share price would equate to a $1 billion valuation, roughly, like 1.25 or something billion dollar valuation. So I mean, I remain very bullish on this company. I'm not going to say it's going to happen this month, this year, maybe in the next few years, but I think over time, this company, if they do continue to execute and do what they say they will, I see so much potential in this. So again, you guys, this is more just a celebratory thing. Let me know if you guys are invested in ALYI down below, because it's up over 50%. Like that is that's why I love these microcap stocks, you guys, is because you can have days like this. But it's important to remember that it can go the opposite direction too. So stay safe, especially with this one. You guys always do your own research, do your own due diligence to make your own conclusions. This is just my opinion on this. All right. So we will call it there, you guys. Let me know what you think about Moderna, what you think about Sorrento, if you guys are bullish, if you guys are picking some up on that price drop like I am, yeah, just let me know. Always love talking shop with you guys. Always love talking stories, so I'll catch you downstairs. And until next time, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.